Hi, I'm Alex.
My name is Sergey. We talk about table tennis.
We are Table Tennis 11. We are glad again to welcome you at our Table Tennis 11 YouTube channel. Today is a very, very special day.
For you, especially.
For me, of course. Yeah. So today we are trying to deal with defensive material. Today is my day, so we are making more investigation than test.
You can name it investigation, yes.
The question is really interesting for me. I hope it's interesting for many defensive players and not only. When you choose the rubber, which thickness you usually take? Offensive rubbers for offensive players, I think it's quite obvious. 95% choose maximum or sub-maximum thickness for the rubbers. And for the pimples, it's not that easy, especially for long pimples, for defensive players. Some prefer to play without sponge, some take something in the middle, and some play with thicker sponge. But when I asked different players, what do you think is the difference? Or what is the advantage if you take a thinner or thicker sponge? I haven't received any clear answer. And this is very interesting for me. I usually play with 0.5, 0.6 sponge, but I have tried thicker sponge, but I never tried thicker than 1 millimeter, and I never tried without the sponge. The problem was also which material we use. We have a lot of arguments.
We decided to choose most popular material for long pimple rubbers.
And for
Defensive blade.
The most popular long pimple rubber is Grass D.Tecs, and best-selling defensive blade is Donic Deathplay Sensor B3. So we use these two, and to combine it with the forehand rubber, we have taken Hurricane 3.
To complete the racket so we don't test.
So we will start from the thickest one and go down to the rubber without sponge, and we try also to see from the player's side and his opponent. It's very interesting what opponent will say, whether it's a big difference for him.
So I will be the opponent, so I will not play defense.
Okay, I think it could be more important. Sometimes you can sacrifice your game to make it less stable but more effective. I think it's time to stop talking and
Start playing, yes.
Okay, we start from the thickest one. Very nice impression. It's really surprising how easy it is to play with thick sponge. Good. Quite easy to receive, because of pimples are not taking the spin and the sponge absorbs.
No, it was too ambitious. I think if I spin hard, a lot of spin is coming back. If I spin slowly, then I don't have to put so much effort to the next ball.
Do you feel it's hard to play against this one?
Comparing to the no sponge and the lowest one, I have to spin quite a good quality to put the ball to the table.
The ball flies quite fast. It feels like unpleasant when the ball gets to the line.
very difficult to play against this rubber.
Okay, 1.2. It's a bit easy to play. If you really get powerful one, then you have to play more down. Comparing to the thicker one. Like this. That's good. There are also advantage of the sponge absorbing. I wouldn't say with 1.2 it's easier or it's harder. Question of personal preference.
Dampering effect is not that big. The thinner is the sponge, the smaller is the dampering effect.
What is your impression, Max?
It's more difficult to play with thinner sponge, surprisingly. I feel like I have to play better and more precise.
Easier, I feel easier. I don't have to generate so much spin just to do the movements.
The ball comes slower and it comes more to the middle than to the back line. So it's easier for me to find position against this rubber than against the first one.
It is much easier to play against this rubber comparing to 1.6.
Now 0.9. I'm already sweating. For me, it's definitely easier to play with 0.9. But at the same time, I feel that for world class or for top class defenders, this would be not enough. So if you get really killing one, you cannot manage with the thinner sponge. For me, it's really easy to control. Much easier. So this is most probably my choice. Merits and own drawbacks. With 0.9, placement is easier, so you can rule the ball more, but if the service is complicated, then it's more difficult to manage.
Less forgiving.
Not the big difference comparing to the previous rubber, so it was 0.9, very similar to 1.2.
Very good.
I feel not so much different actually. Still 1.6 I have to generate more spin. 0.9, 1.2 is quite same, so I don't feel so much different.
absolutely no difference comparing to 1.2.
0.5.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe it's because I use the same thickness, but it's so easy for me to play. But maybe it's also a question of practice. This is definitely my choice.
Okay.
Good. This one is 0.5.
Yes. Sorry.
Definitely, that one was the easiest.
The easiest.
The easiest to play, spin, and don't have to put so much power to it.
Different sound from the racket. Maybe it's quite deceptive because the ball goes slow and it looks like it's very simple. But maybe it is not because I make mistakes, I don't know why. So it is quite convenient to play, but I make mistakes.
I don't know why, but I feel like more spin is coming from 0.5.
Okay, now without sponge. I never tried before. Some balls are easier to play, but if it comes with a little bit more rotation, then it's maybe I cannot. Surprisingly. It's so easy to receive. Yeah. Very nice. Well, for service receive, this is definitely the best one.
It's a lot faster than versions with the sponge, and it's more difficult to control, I would say. Counterintuitive, but it's like this.
Is it easier for you without a sponge?
No, it's not easy at all. But I feel like, can you maybe serve to me? Can I try with long? This is 1.6. No. I thought that without sponge it would be easier to play receive or passive shots, but it is not.
It's different. It's I can say it's different than 0.5. The effort, what I put into the ball, I get back exactly the same. If the spin is harder, then harder spin you can get back.
I like the sound of this racket. For me, it sounds so pleasant, so it seems very easy to play against it. So it's just like classical table tennis. You have a lot of time.
it is by far easiest to play against.
From my side, I can say that all these rubbers of different thicknesses has own advantage. Maybe except 1.2. 1.6 is definitely more for classical high-class defense, for strong defensive player. 0.9 it's easier to play, but 1.2 is not easy to play with, but also not difficult to play against. I would say you can get something from 1.6, 0.9, from 0.5 also. This is my favorite. And no sponge rubber has also some interesting features. You have to choose your own according with your style. Okay, we have finished.
I played a lot. You have heard our comments. I hope it will be useful for you.
I am quite sure it will be.
And we decided as last time to give the rackets we were using for playing today as gifts for your comments. Please leave your comments and we will choose 5 best.
Maybe 3.
We have 5 rackets, you
Yes,
think?
yes.
Okay.
But,
Yes.
but maybe 5. If there would be 6 brilliant comments, then we add something.
The same as we do for last video, so we promised to give this racket with Newson and Genection rubber as a prize, but we found 2 comments.
We found really a lot,
Many.
and we thank you very much for these comments. So the first prize, the main one, goes to...
Krasniki. I think he is from Germany. I love that you guys have the same amount of fun with the name Newson as we Germans are.
Nutzen.
Newson.
If Germans, then Nutzen. You
Yes.
speak German, not me.
But here I read. So,
Okay, and the second one, this is my favorite.
yeah, but I like it too, so when I'm praised, why not to like it?
What would be the second prize? Rubber of his choice.
Yes, Newson or Genection.
So you can choose either Newton or Genection, and you can choose the color and sponge
Yes,
thickness
yeah.
also.
And
Yeah?
we will send it.
Shall we read the comment?
We should read the name first. This is
Ben.
Ben.
Ben. We don't know the country.
Yes.
But we hope you contact us.
You can read I don't want to read about myself, so you can read the comment.
But I lost this.
Okay, then I read.
Please do.
Wow, Sergey looks so handsome in this one, and I need to win it.
We think you deserve. Thank you for watching. We do our best to produce more videos for you.
Thank you.
See you soon.